Is a subscription box business still profitable, or should I even start my subscription box business in an economy like this? Well, I'm going to give you some ways that you can help your subscription box business to be more profitable. And for those who are thinking about whether or not you should jump in, this will also give you like some really valuable information to help you to be able to make that right decision for you. Hey guys, welcome to this channel. Dallas Gordon here. On this channel, we talk business tips, and a little bit of motivation as well. At the end, I also like to share my personal opinions about things, my personal strategies. So if you're interested in how I'm running my business or what I'm doing personally, stick around to the end, and I always share something, a little something with you at the end. So I want to talk to you about the subscription box industry. I know that there have been a lot of questions lately about whether or not it's even profitable. Are subscription box businesses really making money? I see a lot of the major ones going under, and is this a business model that I should even get into? Or you may be just like me. You may have already started this business. Your business may have skyrocketed or thrived towards the beginning, and you are trying to figure out how to continue to thrive and strive in the subscription box industry. You may even be having some doubts, and I want to help you with that by presenting you with some information on how you can make your subscription box more profitable in 2023 and beyond, and also just like some tips. Number one of the ways that you can be more profitable. Now, before I get started, let me just say this. Is the subscription box industry a good business to run now and beyond? I'm not really sure to really answer how to answer that question for you. It is going to be different for everybody. It really does depend on how you structure your business. So I want to put as much information out there and be just as transparent as possible. I really don't have a course, a subscription box membership or anything to really sell you. So I have no reason to be dishonest or to fluff or lie. I'm just going to put the real information out there, what I've experienced about this topic. So it all depends on how you structure your business compared to someone else. And I feel like in the subscription box industry, what the real earnings are and what the real experiences are with profit and how to, make sure that your profit is locked in and numbers. It's very, very hush hush in the subscription box industry. And I think that it is hush hush because there is no two businesses alike in the subscription box industry. It is just really a hard business to streamline the numbers because it can just be all over the place. And your business from month 1 to month 2 to month 3 can change so much every month depending on who you gain and who you lose. So it is really, really, really hard to streamline processes for subscription box businesses. So I feel like how much people really are making, whether they're success or whether or not, or they're failing or what's working or what's not working, is so different and so unique for each and every subscription box business that it's hard just to streamline it and have just like one strategy for the money. So that's what makes it funny. That's what makes the money funny. Nobody really wants to talk about it because it's just so different for everybody. So here are some tips that I'm going to give you though for your sub box business. Number 1 is to negotiate flexible payment terms with your suppliers. If you can figure out a way to pay for the goods that you are receiving for your box in a flexible way and not just be owing everybody at one time, you can hang on to more of the cash flow in your business and just not be putting out. Because I feel like the subscription box industry, it is a cash cow. You need so much money to run it, depending on the type of business that you have. Like I said, depending on the foundation and the type of business that you have, especially if you have a box with tons of products in it, it can be a cash cow. Once you add up everything, once you add up shipping, once you order your supplies, once you order your boxes, if you are not building a foundation of keeping those expenses extremely low from the beginning, from the jump, from the start, it can be very, very hard for you to maintain those payments. Okay, so you want to try to negotiate good payment terms with your suppliers in a way that works for your business. And if you ask not, you have not. So questions that you have not asked are questions that you will not have an answer to. So you have to be willing to ask and start conversations with suppliers and see what they'll say. The worst thing that can happen is they will give you a no. And that's okay. You just keep it moving, and down the line, you can always ask again once you establish a better relationship with them. Number 2 is add-ons. Add-ons are super, super important. One strategy that I learned from my mentor is basically you can send out an email every month and you can make it convenient for customers to add things onto their subscriptions. We're actually launching a brand new line for our brand, which we don't actually have to pack and ship ourselves, that customers can add onto their boxes. We will also repurpose that line over on Etsy and over on our store as well, so that people can also buy those items and we don't have to fill them. We don't have to package them. All we have to do is provide, the listing for the item. We get paid, but there's another fulfillment center that is handling the work of filling those orders. So add-ons is a really clever idea. We have special add-on days every month where we send out those emails and we ask customers whether or not they would like us to add on for them, or if they would like to do it themselves. This is exactly how to do it. Some people are not adding on your add-ons because they don't even know that they're there. I think that we assume that customers are logging in and looking around, but many of them are not. So this strategy can help. Number 3 is digital products. What can you do digitally? Now is the time for you to build businesses that do not require you. Digital products do not require you. You're going to create them one time and then they're created. Once somebody purchases that item, they download it and they go on along about their merry way. One of the digital products we have and we're working on more is called Make Today Great. It is a journal prompt guide. It has over 150 journal prompts. We will probably be repurposing that to Etsy as well and selling that on the marketplace as well. This is a guide that is an upsell that a lot of our customers add on, and they really do love it because it complements, the current product that they're already being offered. So I really want you to sit down, brainstorm, and really make a list. Am I really offering or taking advantage of other products that my customers might be interested in? And I've just been telling myself for 3 years that I'm doing everything. And when I really sat down to look to see what it was I wasn't offering, I found I was just being lazy and I was not putting together as much as I could, as many offerings as I could for my particular customer base, out of laziness or just not wanting to learn how. So sometimes there are things you're missing because maybe there are things that you don't want to learn. Maybe there are learning curves and stuff you don't really want to take on, so then you don't do it. The next tip, which is number 4, is to buy less and not more. So I used to do a lot of overbuying in my business, trying to overbuy so that if I grew that particular month, I would have enough inventory. So I would just always do a lot of overbuying. And I'm going to tell you that in general, I am an overbuyer. Okay, so I'm a person that has a fear of running out of stuff. So if I'm going to buy toothpaste, I might grab an extra tube. If I'm going to buy paper towels, I want to make sure it's enough. If I'm going to buy food, I always buy extra and then the food ends up going bad. My husband's like, stop doing that. My husband's an underbuyer. I'm an overbuyer. So you definitely don't want to take your overbuying habits into your subscription box business. You'd rather not have enough than have too much, because then if you have too much, now you have to liquidate that inventory, which we can talk about in another video if you like to. But now you're going to have to get rid of all that additional inventory that you really wouldn't have if you just brought less of it. I have had times where I've ran out and I've not had enough to send people. That's a pretty easy problem to fix, because if it's just a few people, you can just go and rebuy those products in smaller quantities. And you can definitely, if you have relationships with your suppliers, you can contact them and start those conversations, and they're normally happy to accommodate you. So that's something to think about. So number 5 is streamlining your packaging and keeping it simple. Some of us are not in situations where we can just change our packaging, especially if you are considered a more luxury box. So especially if you are offering a more of a luxury packaging experience, you can't just now say we're just going to ship everything in a plain box. You can't just do that. I know with my customer base, they're used to the pink pretty box with designs all over it. And that has pretty much been our brand. So if I go to our customers and say, it would really have to be drastic measures for us to change our box, we would have to financially, we would have to make our business work. But if you are in a position where you're early and you can make those changes without a lot of people noticing, or you're just getting started, try to streamline those processes. So if I could do it all over, honestly, I would just do a white, like we do for our kids box, a white box that I could easily source for a great price and put a sticker on it and call it a day. Because I can get a white box from pretty much anywhere. It's cheap for me to get one. And it's very simple for me to pop a sticker on it. than for me to have to pay large shipping amounts and all this kind of stuff and paying for designs and all this from a company like Pack Lane or something like that. To me, it's just too much. Another thing you can streamline is I used to have like really pretty fancy poly mailers on the outside of my box to go along with the themes every month, or I would have all these different colors of tissue paper. Depending on the theme, I would match the tissue paper. Find one print of tissue paper to use, because that's going to help you to save money in your business. You don't want to have multiple different types of colors, and then when the theme changes, you can't use it. Or just use everything that you have, no matter what color it is, because little stuff like that eats away at your funds. So try to streamline your packaging. Make it as simple as possible, as cost effective as possible. And if you can do eco-friendly, do that as well. Number 6, I think it is pay yourself first. I can't stress this enough. Pay yourself first, period. With a period at the end. You need to be getting paid for the work that you do. There are a lot of subscription box owners out there that do not pay themselves. I want you to realize that the money that you make, it is yours. And it is yours for you to make decisions with, and it is yours to be able to manage. So you have to decide who you pay, how you pay them, and when you pay them. And the one person that is not up for negotiation is you. So one thing I would do in my business that would really make me burn out and give me a bad attitude about having a business was because I was paying everybody but myself, and that should not be the case. So I'm making sure that I am the highest paid person on payroll because I am the business owner. So you have to go out of your way sometimes to make that happen, and that's non-negotiable. So you're supposed to treat paying yourself just like you do another bill that you have to pay. That's just like keeping the lights on. You are the light in your business. And if you are not energized by treating yourself with honor and respect and paying yourself, what are you doing? The next thing is be careful with borrowing money. I'm slapping my own wrist. Do not borrow money before your business is ready. That is one of the most horrible mistakes I made in my business, because what's going to happen is when different lenders and people like that start to see your revenue, they get excited. They're like, can I get something to eat? Okay, so I'm willing to offer you all kinds of crazy loans. I'm willing to crawl under the table for you, to leap over the table, to bend over backwards for you in order to give you money. And a lot of the times, one thing that is common amongst a lot of these lenders is that their payment terms, they just aren't right. They don't work for us business owners. They don't work for us subscription box owners. Let me just give you a tip. Any loan that takes money per sale, it is not good for you as a subscription box owner. Any loan that takes per sale from you is not the best structured loan for a subscription business. I have tested this, I know this, and I will never do it again. You would be better off going to a bank and getting like a business loan or a personal loan. Get your lump sum payout, and every month you just pay back the loan in a lump sum. They're not in your every sale. That never just adds up well, and you end up in the negative. Don't do it. The next one is grow a big business with a small business mindset. I really used to hate the word small business. I definitely don't like for anybody to call me a small business, really. I'm not real crazy about calling myself small in any way. Funny because I'm only 5'2", but I don't believe I'm small. I don't believe I should be treated small, but I want you to understand like what I'm saying and consider it. A small business mindset is just keeping your team small. A small business mindset is not overbuying. A small business mindset is trying to run your business from home, or really, watching your costs if you need to outsource fulfillment, like really thinking as a small company. So you want to grow a big company, but you want to grow it with a small business type of mindset, because you don't want to just become wasteful. You don't want to just be overspending. You don't want to be acting like a huge business with your spending and stuff when really you're not ready for that. And a lot of big businesses are big because they've gotten there with a small business mindset, okay, by doing something with a little bit and making it into something great. And I hope that doesn't go over your head. Consider that. The next one is to select cheaper options without losing out on quality. Let's just say you're buying a jewelry box. So your supplier has 2 jewelry boxes. One is a wooden jewelry box, which is cheaper. One is made of something else, maybe glass, and it's more money. You really prefer the glass one, but the wooden one is really top quality and it's nice as well. And you're getting like $3 off of the wooden one. Please go ahead and buy the wooden one. You are not going to lose quality in the box by making cheaper decisions on different options that you have. Choose the cheaper option as long as you're not losing out on quality. Don't get too caught up in whether or not people are going to like it or not. You have to be careful with getting too caught up with emotional buying decisions when both things are nice. You don't know what people are going to like or not like until you put it before them and you get feedback, right? I'm telling you, and just funny story, like some of the worst ever selections that I felt were like the worst that I put in the box, things I've actually hated. Or I may have ordered one thing from my supplier and they turned around and gave me something completely different. Those have been the things that people have loved and enjoyed the most about my box, were things that I absolutely hated. So keep that in mind. So I hope that these have helped you guys. Don't forget to check out the Go Getter community. It is this subscription to this channel. You can subscribe as a supporter. In exchange, I'm giving some amazing benefits like Q&As, free resources, extra exclusive content here on the channel. So definitely check out the Go Getter community. You can check it out by clicking the join or subscribe button on my channel. Or you can go down to the link in the description box. I even do have a video on the channel where I'm talking about the perks and what the Go Getter community is like. So I always share, guys, now going forward, a personal story that I have gone through that may help some people. So I'm going to put it all the way at the end. So if some people just came for the facts and they don't want to hear about me, they can go. Okay. So one thing that I did do in my business was I prematurely rented an office space for my business. I just feel like it was premature. I could actually afford the actual office space, but it was just all that came with it that was a nightmare. For whatever reason, you know, the postal service that was in that area, they were the worst. So packing and delivery days were a nightmare. Packages being dropped off to the building, it seemed to never go right. So I was always chasing down packages. And the bills and things that came associated with the property, you know, were more than I bit off more than I could really chew. And I was just very stressed during that time. So that your business really does need to be in a super good position. Like, you need to give yourself some time before you make that move. And I think that, you know, sometimes we've accomplished so much and we feel like this next big thing that we haven't accomplished yet is that next step. Well, it may not be that next step for you. I have a big enough home in order to run my business from home, and my husband is happy for me to run my business from home. I have plenty of space to do so, and so much so I don't get in anybody's way with boxes, materials, anything. Nobody would know I was here with my business, right? So I did not need to make that move, and that move set me back a little bit, because then when I had to move, I had to sell furniture and re-rent out the space, and it was a whole bunch that I had to go through that kind of set me back. Another thing as well that was a setback for me is fulfillment centers. Like, I really would love to have someone else to handle my packing and shipping, because it really is taxing on my family to pack and ship every month. It's a lot of physical labor. It's a lot of packages, right? So I would love to have someone else handle that. But there is a lot to consider when you're dealing with fulfillment centers. So when you make choices and they are not the right choices, it ends up costing you more money and heartache than it was going into it, you know, because now you have to clean up your mess and you have to pull your whole business back. And when you have a big business that's pretty good size, it's hard to just pack up your whole business on a truck and send it home. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars to do that. So that's another decision that I made prematurely. And there are so many others that I have made prematurely, just being overzealous and thinking that it's good for me to do it now and it's the most logical decision next, but it may not be the right decision for you to make next. So I just wanted to share that. Pace yourself, slow down, really pray about things, really think about things to see whether or not different moves that you want to be making are for you, or whether or not they're not for you. And it's okay if they're not. So guys, thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to drop me some comments below and stick around if you enjoyed this content. Be blessed, guys. I'll see you around soon.